Hello people, for the first time on my channel, I'm going to be making a series of 7 episodes where I'll be explaining every major domain of an electric vehicle. From battery packs to the software intelligence that goes into making a fully functional production grade electric vehicle. In the cars, trucks, buses or scooters, the way they work is pretty much the same. I will make a playlist and add all the videos that belong to this series. So with that said, this is Pawan and I am Systech. Welcome to EV Explained. This is the very first episode in this series and I'll be talking about the battery pack of an electric vehicle, the energy source of an EV, the main big deal of an EV. Most of the price of the EV will be comprised of this battery pack alone because they're expensive to make even though it is a consumable component. Firstly, the battery type and chemistry. As of 2022, it's pretty much industry standard to use a lots of lithium-ion cells in the battery pack. And you take any electric car or electric scooter for that matter, you will find these. Majority of Indian brands prefer to use battery cells of the type 21700 or 18650. Now, these cells usually have a cell voltage of around 3.2, 3.6 or 3.7 volts with capacities ranging from 2000 milliamperes to 5000 milliamperes. You can assume that a single cell like this can power your phone for a normal amount of time in a day. Obviously, one cell is not going to be enough to run a whole electric vehicle. So what we do is we connect a lot of these cells in the configuration that is designed by the manufacturer and we call it a module to output a higher power. And we connect a lot of these modules to collectively form a battery pack, which can then actually go ahead and run the motor and other things in an EV. Now just for a refresh, dial back to your high school physics classes. When you connect cells in series, the voltage of each cell will add up to the output, but current remains constant. And when you connect cells in parallel, the voltage remains the same as the output, but the current will keep increasing. In a similar fashion, with this technique and a lot more safety sizing and regulatory calculations, a battery sizing is done. A lot of these cells of specific type and capacity are chosen and arranged and connected to get whatever power output the vehicle is designed for. Diving a little deep into the chemistry of the battery packs, majority of the brands prefer to use lithium chemistry because of the amount of R&D that has been already done in this space and the level of evolution that lithium batteries have gone through. And our existing supply chains are really good at producing and shipping these lithium chemistry based cells in any amount of any type and size. And lithium-ion batteries just work really well with our modern tech and electronics. So if it ain't broken, don't fix it. Still, there are some downsides and limitations to using lithium-ion batteries. And there is a lot of R&D that has been going on in this field to figure out which is the next big leap in battery technology and what would that be. So which are those mainstream battery chemistries that manufacturers are using at this point of time? Lithium-ion batteries come in two main chemistries. One is nickel cobalt aluminum and nickel manganese cobalt. Lithium is common here and LFP or lithium ferrophosphate has gotten a lot of popularity and has been consistently in use in a lot of EVs from many brands. No traditional nickel or cobalt. Instead, they use iron and phosphate, which are much more abundant resources, hence making this chemistry of batteries cheaper to manufacture. Why did lithium-based batteries grow in popularity and not lead-acid technology? You'll understand why by the end of this section. So, before judging a battery, we take these things into consideration. The energy density of the battery pack, the power density of the battery pack, and the lifespan of the battery pack. To put it simply, energy density is nothing but how much energy or charge the battery can store in it. The more the energy density, more the charge it can hold for the same size and weight. And lithium-ion batteries got a lot more energy density than lead acid. Precisely, lithium-ion achieves an energy density of 125 to 600 plus watt-hours per liters compared to just 50 to 90 watt-hours per liters for lead acid batteries, essentially giving you a higher driving range. Industries have been striving to increase this energy density number for quite a while, but it's like we're reaching a limit now. There's only so much you can do to increase the energy density significantly. If you want more range, then you have to add a better bigger battery in it. Or else if you want to increase the energy density of the existing cells, then it will cost a lot of money in R&D and manufacturing, which ultimately will cost you as a consumer a lot to purchase an EV. Power density is another important factor. It can make or break how your EV is going to perform. Higher power density helps you in charging the battery pack faster by accepting more current at a given point of time. It also helps in day-to-day performance of the vehicle by providing better acceleration, and having higher power density also helps in better regenerative braking capabilities. The lifespan of the battery mostly depends on the usage patterns. Mostly it refers to the rate at which the battery is charged or discharged, environmental aspects like temperatures, and then there are factors like the load it is running, there is overcharging problems, undercharging problems. All these factors will contribute to the lifespan of the battery. A battery used in an electric vehicle won't degrade the same way as a battery used in a smartphone or a laptop. Usually a battery is rated for a specific amount of charge cycles. So as you keep getting closer to this number of charge cycles, the battery will keep losing some of its usable capacity. For a generic lithium-ion battery, this plot shows how this degradation is taking place. Degradation of the battery even depends on the city or the town you live in. If you live in a hot city like Mumbai or Chennai, then expect a little bit less range and a faster discharge from your electric scooters or electric car. If you live in a colder city like Bangalore, then yeah, probably you'll get out a little bit more charge out of your scooter or a little bit more range out of your scooter. Some brands design their battery packs so that they won't reach 100% or 0% at all. Even though the display is showing you 100%, as the SoC, the battery actual battery percentage will be capped at around 80%. So one important factor now, battery sizing. The main thing that is looked at is to size a pack according to how much range is expected from the vehicle. More the range, higher the battery capacity and heavier the battery pack will weigh. There are other important factors that are considered except the range, and those are motor specifications like how much current it will be drawing, what power is it rated at, and what kind of acceleration it can achieve, etc. etc. Second factor would be what top speeds the vehicle is expected to reach. The third factor would be external vehicle and environmental add-ons like drag, grade, and rodent resistance. And finally, of course, the weight of the vehicle. Obviously, there are other factors that are considered like running major and minor electronics, but they hardly consume any power compared to the other factors that I just mentioned. So all this is taken into consideration and put into multiple equations, and we compute a theoretical output, obviously including the motor efficiencies and the battery efficiency itself. After all this, you end up with a kilowatt hour number, that is how much energy that the battery pack can hold, and it is rated at that particular capacity. And then the testing part is different, where you put all these calculations and numbers into a reality check to produce a safe industry standard battery pack. Now, no matter what EV you get, you'll be getting some sort of warranty with the battery pack. Usually two-wheelers, you'll get some 3 years of battery warranty, and four-wheelers, you'll get around 4 to 8 years of battery warranty. That's really a lot of time. But that doesn't mean after this warranty period, your batteries are old and unusable and you can throw it out or something. Like I mentioned previously, the degradation of this battery pack won't exactly depend on the time of usage itself. It depends on a lot of other factors. For example, if you are an owner who has used his or her electric scooter for say 3 to 4 years, but you have only ridden around 10,000 kilometers, and you really take good care of your electric vehicle, like not obsessive amount of care, but there is some amount of care that has been gone into it, then I assure you, you don't need to replace your battery after 3-4 years. You can keep using it, because 10,000 kilometers with good care and condition is not a lot. But if you are a consumer who rough uses your vehicle, if you have used it however you want to, wherever you want to, in every possible bad condition, and you've ridden the heck out of it, say 1 lakh kilometers or something in like 2-3 years, then I assure you that the first electric scooter and the owner that I mentioned, that electric scooter is going to be performing way better and will be way healthier compared to the other electric scooter that I just mentioned. And that's it. I'm not saying your batteries will run forever. No, that's a myth. Your batteries are going to get very old, and there will be a point of time where you won't be getting practical amount of range out of it. So that is the time when you probably have to replace your battery, or you have to change the vehicle itself. There are a lot more videos that I've made on electric vehicle batteries. I'll make sure I link down those videos in the description below. And the next video in this series is going to be out soon, so stay tuned. If you ended up liking this whole video, don't forget to leave a like. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And as always, this is Pawan signing out.